Hello. Today we're going to focus on building relationships between instructional coaches and teachers. Why should I? Maybe the question you're asking. Trusting relationships set the tone for what? Everything you could possibly want to do this school year, starting with giving feedback. Don't have that relationship in place? Trust me, nothing you say will go over, especially when it's unfavorable. Collaboration. Education is all about educating kids and doing it together. It requires a lot of work. It requires all hands on deck. If you haven't built those relationships, you're going to be on the island by yourself, begging people to come over. Your job is to mentor, support, and guide. Again, you have to have that relationship to allow that to happen. Long-lasting changes. Teachers are professionals. We teach our kids to follow rules. We tend to follow rules. But changing, it's not going to be genuine. Neither will be long-lasting. It will just last as long as you're in the room, unless you build that trusting relationship, allowing them to work alongside you and see, hey, there's a reason for this change. When should I start? Immediately. Beginning of the school year, teachers are concerned about how they're going to set the grade book, whether they have morning duty or afternoon duty, how many kids have IEPs. But trust me, find time to start those relationships before the year starts. How? Informal conversations. Remember how you do those interest inventories with your students? Teachers, find out, hey, do they like to work with other teachers? Do they prefer working alone? Do they like working with content area teachers? Do they prefer working with grade level? Do they like to meet during school hours planning or after school hours? Getting to know teachers, getting to know who they are, who they aren't, gives you an opportunity, even when you're designing professional development, making sure that it's relevant for everybody. Active listening. Shh. Be quiet. You're not the expert. You're not expected to be the expert. Listen, and listen some more. Allow teachers time to talk to you instead of you talking to them. Avoid being judgmental. Most instructional coaches have been a teacher at some point in time. We know that you're wonderful, you're great. But hey, there's more than one way to deliver a lesson. Don't think your way is the best way. Especially when you're observing and you see something that you may have done differently. Take time to figure out why the teacher did it differently. Don't be judgmental. Be open-minded. Celebrate teachers. We know we've learned that adult learners are intrinsically motivated, but everybody still likes to be celebrated. Find out what their favorite snacks are. I have teachers that I'm friends with on Facebook. They find out, hey, I'm going all over town trying to find these particular chips. Get to work, had a particularly rough week, chips appear in my mailbox. Something like that says, hey, you actually see me. Shout outs. Giving teachers feedback one-on-one is great, but let other teachers know, hey, you've got some great coworkers working down the hall from you. Ask teachers, hey, I love how you incorporated technology. Would you mind showing that to other teachers at the faculty meeting? Acknowledging birthdays. A little card to say happy birthday. Says, hey, I see you and recognize you as a person. Freebies. Don't know why? There's something powerful about Blue Jean Day. Hey, you really had that class under control when the fire alarm went off unexpectedly. Here's a free Jean Day. You know what? I came in your classroom. All your kids were actively engaged. Go eat your lunch in your classroom. I'll watch your kids. Dun, dun, dun. Feedback. Another reason why trusting relationships are important. You have to really know your teachers and have spent enough time with them to know what kind of feedback works. There are 4 types here that are presented. Diagnostic, those inexperienced teachers, or maybe they don't have experience with the particular strategy they're trying to use. You're going to be diagnostic, talk about why the lesson didn't work, really dig deep, find out how you can support those teachers. Prescriptive, maybe there was one, oh no, that went wrong in the lesson. Descriptive, those teachers who are naturally reflective, have good grasp of practices. Micro, nobody's perfect, but those teachers who that lesson maybe just need one little area they need to tweak. Feedback should not be one-sided. Just like you don't want a long list of positive because it's not going to be genuine. Too many negatives, the positive won't even matter at that point. Not being vague. Instead of saying, hey, great transitions, try something like, I noticed when you went from independent reading to small group instruction, there was very little downtime. Your kids went right to work. Too extensive? Find one or two things to focus on. And one size fits all, that's not how feedback works. Stick to that lesson, to that teacher. It should be timely. Ideally, we want to go in, you're observing teachers, they're pretending you're not there. But trust me, deep down, they're wondering, what are you writing? What are you typing? As soon as you can, get feedback to them. If you know you're going to sit down and talk to them at length later on, a good strategy to use would be to, when on your way out the door, leave a sticky note with a couple of points that you notice that went well. Make it genuine. They know it's not genuine. Make sure it's descriptive because the next step says actionable. You're going to do something about whatever you observe, so it needs to be descriptive. Teacher-centered. It's not all about you. Let them decide. Let them come to the conclusion of what they need to do better on or what they need to continue doing. Tailor-made for that teacher, for that lesson that you observed. Simple strategies. Before I talk about the strategies, I want to mention record the lesson. A lot of teachers they do not like to be recorded. But if you build that relationship, you're able to establish, hey, if you allow me to record it, it gives me time to actually go back and look at the lesson, enjoy the lesson while I'm there, then go back and figure out what we need to work on or what we need to plan for the next time. It also allows the teacher to see what went well because nobody sees it all. AFC, A means to affirm. Always start with the positive. Impact, when you're talking about what they did really well and how what they did impacted the students. And then a challenge. Again, allowing teachers to be reflective, allowing them to see, you know what, I could do that a little differently next time. Self-reflection. You might be wondering, if I'm giving feedback, how does self-reflection work? Self-reflection, you want the teachers to tell you what they see, what they notice in their own instruction. Again, another reason why recording the lesson is a great idea. Hey, how do you feel that lesson went? What did you feel really good about? If you could do it over, what would you do differently? Here are some references to help you as you continue to build relationship with your teachers, as you continue to give effective feedback. The first link is only going to work if you have a subscription to the textbook. The other links are links to articles on the internet. So remember, be positive, be genuine, and listen.